They shook every bush, but the hat wasn't there.
Cheryl Burford's an early childhood educator.
Jillian worried, my mom will be mad.
You never know what each day is going to bring. I just love watching them learn and grow. I learn so much from them. They're the best to hang out with.
Swooping and looping, they drove and they dipped.
But Cheryl's learning isn't limited to the classroom.
Or flipped.
When somebody asks me what I've gone through and I list everything, it's like, wow.
Often, life's lessons are the most profound.
You do not take life for granted anymore.
There are gifts in the heartaches.
I feel like I've come out on the other side.
And gratitude for those easing your pain.
The Heart Institute is incredible. My experience is nothing but a miracle.
Cheryl's struggles began in the spring of 2022. Fit and active, she had always loved to walk, but suddenly it became a chore.
I couldn't walk very far. I had to stop and catch my breath, so it was a bit of a shock.
And doing simple things felt impossible.
I couldn't walk to the grocery store, walk around the grocery store. Everything seemed to take so much energy.
Energy Cheryl didn't have. And when she started having heart palpitations during the day and night, she reached out to her doctor, who referred her to a cardiologist.
The ball started rolling with figuring out what was wrong.
As Cheryl's shortness of breath worsened, she was admitted to the University of Ottawa Heart Institute. Tests revealed she did have atrial fibrillation, or an irregular heartbeat, but over time would be told the main reason for her ongoing and extraordinary health challenges.
In September of 2022, I did hear back from the Heart Institute with an actual diagnosis of rheumatic heart disease, which is caused by untreated strep throat.
You know, the tricky thing with rheumatic fever is that you get this illness as a child, and then decades later, it shreds up your mitral valves.
It just felt really odd that something so random could cause such damage.
Cheryl was admitted to the University of Ottawa Heart Institute for open heart surgery. Dr. Chan would replace her damaged valve with a mechanical one.
Dr. Chan is world-renowned, and so I had no doubt. The nurses, the anesthesiologist, everybody in that room had my back, and that really, really helped.
A successful valve surgery and subsequent pacemaker implant, life-changing operations, and unparalleled care.
I can't say enough about the nurses. That's one thing that I do remember.
Extending compassion not just to her, but to those she loved who were always by her side.
So I remember the nurses the most, being kind to my parents, and they were very helpful.
A week later, Cheryl was discharged, but shortly after had trouble breathing, walking, eating, even keeping food down.
So the issue was I had fluid buildup around my heart. And they said that that is a normal complication that can happen after heart surgery.
For 5 days, a tube helped to drain the fluid in Cheryl's chest.
It was an emotional roller coaster.
Eventually, Cheryl regained enough strength to leave hospital. And weeks later, like so many other patients at the University of Ottawa Heart Institute, began cardiac rehab.
The confidence that I got from it, from the nurse and the physio, bar none, the best thing that I could have ever done.
So you guys get the papers?
Today, Cheryl is back in the classroom.
Come to your snowflake.
They might not know the whole story, but they know that I'm back to the way that they saw me before I left.
Back to feeling like Cheryl Burford again.
I have recovered in a way that I feel like I can do those things that I used to do.
With a healed and grateful heart.
You guys have been doing so good.
Gratefulness is one of my words that I use all the time to describe my time at the Heart Institute. I'm very grateful for them.